Hill, fake, Jackson keep. First down, Lamar Jackson. Like you said, he's the one who can hurt you the most. And 12 yards for Lamar. And a first down for Baltimore.
It's always going to be one person unblocked out here, and Lamar is simply going to read him. Once he took that step down inside, Lamar knew exactly what he was going to do. But I think with both of these quarterbacks.
Jackson has time and finds Flowers open. Lost the ball and got back on it at the 46-yard line. Gain of 20 and a first down. Justice Hill the back. And Jackson will keep it. Outrace Bosa, outrace Bernard, and get a first down, throttling it down at the 30-yard line. Pick up 17 for Lamar.
You just can't do that. Here's the unblocked guy again. You're going to get in here and you're going to get out there. This guy has to stay outside. And Bosa's going to figure that out in a hurry.
The value of Lamar Jackson, what they've done with this offense. Hill remains the back. Jackson keeps left side. Got a great block from his tight end and takes it for the touchdown. Mark Andrews threw a great block. And Lamar Jackson and the Ravens have scored again with a long, quick drive.
I don't know what you do. Glad I don't have to design a defense. Everybody's going this way, back.
3rd and 5. Bills bringing 4. Lamar throws in the middle and is caught. 2 receivers there, and Zay Flowers slides to the catch. Ravens in the red zone at the 17-yard line. And a timeout taken.
Really interesting. You saw the tight end Mark Andrews trying to adjust his route, held on to the catch. Yes, he did. And Zay Flowers is that answer that when teams.
They go quick. Bills bring late pressure. Jackson throws to Zay Flowers. Crossing. Flowers accelerates and almost gets all the way. Rapp pulls him down at the 22-yard line.
They had Cole Bishop blitz from the farthest I've ever seen anybody blitz from, and he had absolutely no chance. The other safety comes running over the top, Taylor Rapp, and left nothing on the other side. I don't know if they mistimed that, but that was a ridiculous blitz. That one had no chance whatsoever and gave up the big play.
He is having an opening night. Lamar laying it up for Hopkins. One hand! The veteran still got it! DeAndre Hopkins touchdown!
Oh, wow. I'll say this. I have had a handshake with that hand right there. It is no surprise that that ball stuck. And if DeAndre Hopkins can do anything for this football team, that's it. Those contested throws, those balls on the sideline, in the end zone, he could end up being the difference.
Buffalo bringing 4 and leaving a spy on Jackson, who's in trouble. Gets away. Escaping. Got a lot of room. There he goes. First down, Lamar, much more. Across midfield to the 46-yard line.
I mean, I honestly don't know what to do with this guy. That is a sack for every quarterback almost that's ever played that position. And not only is it not a sack, it turns into one of the most spectacular plays of the weekend. He does it all the time, though. I mean, you want to know why these two guys are the league anymore, with these two guys leading the way.
And Lamar's going to take it in his own hands and slide inbounds to keep that clock turning.
Didn't see who recovered it by the Ravens, but terrific hustle by them.
On 2nd down and 1 off the play fake. Lamar looking to throw, throws toward the end zone. Caught! Touchdown, Baltimore. Wallace got free. $15 yards. Their first possession here in the second half. It is Henry in the backfield. Off the play fake. Jackson, he has time. Throws to the middle. Zay Flowers makes a man miss. And he gets to the 46, maybe the 45. Ronnie Hickman just missed him, and he got 4 extra yards.
Well, you'll see Zay Flowers right in the middle of your screen. He's going to run off. This is what he does all.
They've been off the charts with explosive plays. After changing the play, Lamar backpedaling. He does this so well and then finds an opening. He runs up and throws toward the end zone. Caught! Touchdown Ravens! What a grab by the veteran DeAndre Hopkins.
But I do agree that he possesses it. But DeAndre Hopkins' left knee is clearly down at that point. So the moment he possesses it, that ball's down by contact and dead. So really good job by replay there. The nose of that football didn't break the plane.
Even if you don't get it, the Browns are pinned back.
Jackson rolling. Jackson looking to the back of the end zone. Caught! Touchdown Walker! Second-year pro out of North Carolina. And it's 19-3 Ravens.
Love everything about.
Third and 13 off the play fake. Jackson steps up in the pocket. He loves to run up and throw. He's under pressure and throws, and it's caught. What a diving catch forward.
This is just unbelievable. Terrific catch by Zay Flowers, but I'm telling you right now, Lamar has a guy, he's running to his right. He has a D tackle wrapped around his legs. Watch this. That's Malik Collins. He's stiff-arming him. Collins is trying to bring him down.
Flowers in motion. Jackson looking to throw, looking toward the end zone. It's caught! Touchdown Walker! All he does is score touchdowns. 3 career receptions, 3 career touchdowns.
Bigger and faster than any other guys that play that position.
On 2nd and 10, they're going to throw it again for Hopkins, and DeAndre Hopkins has got it.
He might be the best guy in the league at this still. Even when he's covered, he's not covered. I mean, that's the 3rd catch he's made, big catch, these last 2 games, where the defender is all over him. I mean, you know those next-gen stats with separation? How about 0? 0 separation, and yet this guy keeps catching long passes or touchdown passes.
Around Lamar Jackson in recent years.
Lamar keeps and cuts and slips, but has another first down for the Ravens as he's able to get 12.
Well, you think you got him, but you don't got him because it's Lamar Jackson and Derek Barnes who puts himself in a...
That's what happened to you. 3rd down and 6. Jackson gets out of there and now fires. He's got Bateman for a first down. What a play by Lamar Jackson, extending it, forcing these cover guys to stick on their receivers, and that's good for 10.
Well, that's just it, Joe. They're locked up. Here they come, so it's man-to-man. There's nobody in the middle of the field.
Play action, and now this is a shot for Walker, setting up 1st and goal. Devontae Walker in his 2nd year, good for 33.
Well, again, it's a 5-man.
After the return of the penalty, the punt nets just 24 yards. So starting in Lions territory, Jackson, there he goes. First down and out of bounds. 2 timeouts left, 48 seconds on the clock, and a first down for the Ravens, who came up empty the last time they were down close.
Well, just take a look. Everybody's in man coverage, so they have their back to the quarterback, and that's, you know, that's they got a couple timeouts. Baltimore does, so they got the whole playbook.
Play action and touchdown Ravens. Bateman.
So the whole thing was designed with Zay Flowers then in behind that. But a good call, get the defense flowing, come back to Bateman for the touchdown.
Flowers in motion. Jackson keeps, floats it. Andrews got it. Strong catch by Mark Andrews against Brian Branch for 20.
And he was open a lot sooner as he came off the ball. His play action, but Brian Branch is locked up one-on-one. He's not even looking in the backfield. He's got his eyes on.
Since last year, just, well, under 1 on average throwaway a game. Number 2 in the league to Baker Mayfield. And now on 3rd down, Andrews, diving catch, touchdown, Ravens.
Coverage is pretty good coverage, actually. He's locked up man-to-man, and this is just, it's a good route by Andrews, and then it's just a perfectly thrown ball by Jackson. He just lays it out there and gives Mark Andrews an opportunity to just go make a play, but not bad coverage.
Jackson over the middle. He's got Bateman, first down. Perfect throw, 19 yards, and into Lions territory go the Ravens.
Well, Tylan Wallace, number 16, he goes through the defense. He clears out a defender and just opens.
Jackson wide open. First down, Ravens. Bateman again.
And then you got Brian Branch, who's going to run to a 2-deep look. And as he's running out of there, it just opens it up. And you see just how much space there is then for these receivers. And Bateman just sits right down in the hole. And
2nd down and 7. Jackson backpedaling. Andrews wide open, one-on-one, and he'll take it in, his 2nd of the night with 29 seconds to go.
Jackson 4 for 4 to start. He's going to throw here. Sidearms it to Hill, and he's in for the touchdown. What a great drive put together by John Harbaugh's Baltimore Ravens.
It's just another well-designed play. We're not going to block the defensive end. We're going to allow Chris Jones, who's playing on the outside, to come.
They rush 5. Able to slip out of the pocket. Dash for the first down marker, and he got it.
I'm MVP. Almost had a 3rd last year, but good job getting all the way to the right. Fortunate that Omenihu went down rushing from that side, but you let him get out of contain, he will stretch the ball and almost get first downs, it looked like.
Needed 11, and he got 11. As Chanel's threatening to pounce, staying back as a spy as the pass goes down the field to Flowers. And he's got another Baltimore first down, but here come 3 flags, 2 of Kansas City.
And they're trying to keep him up so they can get the ball out. Andy Reid's like, let's go, be smart. Come on, guys. It'd be 23-7, and you have to kick off another 4 to 6 seconds off the clock, and probably worse field position.
Jackson inside the 50, down to the 40, into field goal range, and a timeout called by Baltimore.
Great job by Lamar. And he's protecting the ball here. You see right there, you can get loose. Chris Jones tried, but Lamar's faster, Chris.
No. I'll take him in a foot race.
See the points of contact on the ball. Wrist, forearm.
Fake the run to Henry. Pressure. Flings it. Pulled down by Bateman. Okay, they bought time. A nice job there to find Bateman.
This is their offense, though. You run the ball, you get time. The quarterback runs it. Now look at how long. He comes all the way across the field. I mean, literally, Bateman's on the far left side, and he gets all the way outside the numbers on the right. And it's because they're all having to go down the line like Karlaftis and Chris Jones right here, because they're trying to.
4th and goal. Here he goes again. He throws, and this time it is caught for the touchdown by the tight end Mark Andrews.
And that's the ball. That's the expect. I thought you might see that maybe on 2nd or 3rd down. They wanted to try to hammer it. And again, you get him outside. It puts a lot on the mind of the defense, including their eyes.
his first action of the night. And running back, 2nd down and 7. Pass is caught by Andrews for another touchdown.
Bridge mesh route. The two defenders ran right into each other. Todd Monken could not have drawn this up any better. Bang, right there. And you could see that Mark Andrews is able to pull away. No chance for Elijah Campbell to come over. Lamar Jackson, his eyes must have lit up when he saw those two defensive backs run right into each other. Man coverage, couldn't have called a better play.
He knows them inside out. Ball at the 36-yard line. 3rd down and 6. Jackson, he's going to run. He's going to run for a first down. Gets tripped up. Tackled to the 50-yard line. Dodson stopped him. Gain of 13.
Well, that's the fear, right? 3rd down, you play some man-to-man coverage, and you blitz the linebacker. If you blitz the linebacker, nobody's there to spy. Look at the coverage. Man-to-man. Nobody, and maybe they got lulled to sleep. 5 first downs on this drive. They had 4 in the whole first half.
Now back conventionally. Lamar under center. Lamar under pressure. Wide open again. This time to number 88, Charlie Kolar, for the touchdown.
To him trying to kind of hide from the defense. He'll kind of go down. Maybe lost his footing there, but he keeps his balance. And that is a great way for Lamar Jackson and the Ravens to start this second half.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Jackson throws open, making the grab, cutting inside, tackled to the 10-yard line. Zay Flowers.
In his second half, catches him in man coverage, has Zay Flowers on the inside, little out and up against a safety. There's no chance that your safety Trader as a rookie is going to be able to stay with Zay Flowers. Set him up perfectly, and how about the accuracy and the timing with Lamar?
Off the fake, deep drop, looks around, fires over the middle, touchdown, Rashad Bateman. But a flag is down.
Defense number 23, that fouls before.
Touchdown for Bateman.
Look at this, see something. And now he's going right here. Sees man coverage. Watch the adjustment here by Bateman. Comes right back to him. The defender in man coverage was Jack Jones, and he doesn't adjust back. He assumed that he was going to go getting the reps, just kind of getting back into the flow of things.
3rd and 10. Play action. Pass caught. Another first down here over the middle. That's caught by Kolar, who scored an earlier touchdown.
And look at this throw, man. I mean, look at this throw. Here's your target, but watch this window that he has to get this ball out. Right there on a line, right in the chest.
That's so funny to think about when he comes.
Patrick Ricard, the fullback, lining up in front of Henry. Off play action over the middle. Good catch. Sliding down. That ball tried to sneak out the back door on Zay Flowers, but he hangs on for 16.
Yeah, just a really nice job by Zay Flowers here on the outside. Watch him let the ball go by and kind of pulls it back. Just a great job getting down low. And again, it's not about yardage right now. It's about the time.
Here's Jackson. Floats it over the middle. Back to get it to Zay Flowers, and he turns upfield. Flowers ducks out of bounds at the 25, and the Ravens now well within scoring range after the 27-yard pitch and catch.
Or if you're Zay Flowers, you can do both. You can get yards and you can get back out of bounds. Just finding that soft spot in the middle. You can see those linebackers being held, and a lot of times that's because, you know, the quarterback is climbing up in the pocket. And there again, great ball security. Almost a tip by Jonathan Grenard, but really another good throw over the top. But I agree with the play call. It's just it's not executed well, especially on the outside by Justin Jefferson.
What a sidearm zip to Zay Flowers. Flowers slamming on the brakes and out of bounds near the 26. Isaiah Rodgers chasing him out there.
I tell you, we saw that at the end of half. This is just a different speed from Zay Flowers. Oh, I'm sorry, all the way inside. My fault on that one there. But
from the eye. First down and 10. Jackson off his spot to the outside. Positive yardage and much more. Inside the 10 and down to the 5 goes Charlie Kohler. He's had a touchdown in each of the last 2 games. He ends up 4 yards shy of another here, and it's first and goal.
And just a little bit of an issue with some pursuit. Andrew Van Ginkel here. Let's keep our eyes on him, see if we can keep.
Jackson on the roll, back of the end zone, and it is caught. Mark Andrews with the touchdown.
Well, you just showed the same thing going the other.
Pressure coming. Jackson finds the open man. Rashad Bateman for 2. Eric Wilson was right in the face of Lamar Jackson.
And what the reason for it is.
Jackson steps up. He's going to run at the 15. Lamar still going inside the 5. He's got the first down. First and goal for Baltimore.
And this is just a really good job by Jackson of recognizing it's not an all-out blitz. Everyone's at the line of scrimmage. Well, when they drop back and they all get out of there, turn their heads to get into zone coverage, he finds that lane.
Lamar throwing on the run. Zay Flowers is open. Zay Flowers cuts it upfield at the 10 and caught from behind by Denzel Ward. First time Flowers has been targeted today, and he goes for 45 yards. Keaton Mitchell, the running back. Play action. Lamar steps up, fires. He's got Zay Flowers. Second catch today, and Flowers picks up a first down. Ronnie Hickman on the tackle for Cleveland.
That was probably the best throw of the afternoon for Lamar Jackson because he has struggled some in this game of being able to get completions and get the ball down the field. And this is when he's at his best. Play action, ball over.
Baltimore has only converted 2 of its last 8 third downs. Garrett's coming again. Jackson chased out, throws. He's got Flowers. First down, Zay Flowers. Swessinger on the tackle, and Jackson was able to escape just in time to pick up 18.
Charles, you said it. Lamar Jackson escaping the pocket, and that's what he had to do there because Myles Garrett was coming off the edge, and right there against zone, what Zay Flowers is able to do, he sees his quarterback coming out, and now he uncovers in the middle.
To make a name for himself on the high school field, showing people that you can do what he can do even if you have type 1 diabetes. Flag is down. Zay Flowers the catch. Flowers still going. And dances down at the 34-yard line. Let's see what the penalty. Actually, 2 flags on the field now.
But we've talked about Flowers needing to be much more involved. And they had really good protection there. And a heck of a throw right there by Lamar Jackson. And then Flowers.
Lamar, play action. He's looking deep. Walker is down there, and he makes a sliding catch. Devontae Walker with just his 4th grab of the season.
Over these last 2 plays, we're seeing the explosiveness of this offense of Lamar getting the ball down the field.
Something we've been waiting to see the entire game. And guys, that was Devontae Walker's 4th catch of the season. He had 2 touchdowns prior. And you know what he was averaging prior to that catch?
Shane Ali remains the back. It's back-to-back drives. No Derrick Henry for Baltimore. Jackson. Nothing around, pirouettes, peruses, out of the pocket, across the field, likely. Stops on a dime, look out from behind. Holds on, first down, 35-yard line, gain of 31. Vintage Lamar takes us to the 2-minute warning.
The Lamar magic.
Broncos go to the playoffs, Bengals season ended, but there is a chance. Henry, upfield, Derrick Henry. In the open space, Derrick Henry, all the way to the 30-yard line, 45 yards on a little check down to end the 3rd quarter.
Get this guy into space, Mike.
After 4th and 2, rushing 4, Jackson inside, caught by Andrews. Keeps it alive with a first down to the 38-yard line.
Ali is the running back. Rasheen Ali saw a lot of action against Cincinnati as they were playing catch-up. Lamar going deep. He's got Flowers open, and he makes the catch. Inbounds, they say. What a play by Zay Flowers. Field stands, a 31-yard catch by Zay Flowers.
Not enough movement of the ball, even though it just moves a little. It's still saying he kept control. Getting his hand back, whether it's a penalty or not, you can talk about it, but getting back so it didn't look like face guarding.
3rd and goal. Jackson thinking about taking up. There he is. Finally rushes one home for the touchdown. He had not run for a touchdown in his last 8 starts. Touchdown run since week 1. Remember, he missed time with a hamstring, so now he's off and running, Tony.
Yep, and there's Queen. He's the spy, and he decides to take the chance to run through the line. And when he does that, you leave this area open, vulnerable, because TJ Watt goes outside thinking we have a spy.
4 yards out. Jackson from the gun. Taken off. Nope, now throws. He's got him. It's likely for the touchdown.
What's that like to be a gunner in the NFL?
Jackson running down the line, looking long, flinging it. He's got him. He's got Flowers, gets on his feet at the 35. And the Steelers defense holds on to him after a big gain. 35 yards, longest pass play of the game for Baltimore.
This is a great design. You're going to go here and usually come out, but then he's going to come up the sideline and split the corner. And
from the gun down the middle, he's got him. It's Flowers turning the corner on Ramsey. He's still on his feet down to the 13-yard line. On 4th down and then 3rd down.
This is a great play design, and Flowers comes out and uses his skill set. But truly, it's a bunch formation, 3-on-3. The one thing you got to do is have somebody stay inside. All 3 guys go outside, and you let Flowers come inside. Lamar recognizes it right away. Big-time play for Baltimore.
Question now for this Ravens offense. Can they get this pass game going? Play actions are right on cue. Arch looking for it. Jackson protected. Jackson's going to run for it. 1st down and more. First time seeing Jackson use his legs as he dances his way out across that line. The game, the pressure was being applied by Myles Murphy, but Jackson picks up 14.
Well, Murphy has really had a tremendous start to this game, and he stops the play action before it even starts. They bring Ricard over to try and block him.
Right now the Bengals showing 8 on the line of scrimmage. Little pre-snap look for Jackson. They come heavy. Okay. Jackson underneath. It's Ali. 1st down and a lot more. Ali in for the Ravens touchdown. Quick decision making by Jackson, negating the blitz. Ali 30 on the catch and run to get the Ravens our first points.
Well, you know, this looks like a 0 blitz.
So a big moment here for Lamar Jackson. Baltimore's offense, 60-plus seconds, all 3 timeouts at their disposal. Jackson puts some air under it, and it is incomplete. Zay Flowers, well, he caught it. Flowers makes the catch. 24, he had the drop earlier that was intercepted, and what a catch here to atone for the Ravens.
That is an unbelievable adjustment.
Officials actually put a few more seconds on the clock. 56 seconds, 2 timeouts left for the Ravens. Cincy giving chase, flags down. Jackson, potential free play. We'll check the marker here.
It's kind of been the story of this defense. You see clearly lined up offsides in the neutral zone right here. It's kind of been the story to this defense. You know, they did so many good.
Bengals bring 4. Jackson towards the end zone, and it is caught. Flowers for the Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, surgical with that pass.
Look at this pocket. Jackson stares down the safety, gets it out. Flowers with the out and up, and just lays it in a beautiful Beautiful spot. Well done by the Ravens offense.
Zay Flowers' arch had the 26-yarder where he got lit up by Jordan Battle, and right here, 28 yards from Jackson to get the Ravens a 2-score lead.
Fake to Derrick Henry. Lamar, first pass of the night, is brought in by Zay Flowers. That's been the most likely target of the season, and Flowers with a gain into Patriots territory.
They were going to take away this running game of the Ravens right now. 6-man front up here to start this game, basically daring Lamar Jackson to throw the ball. No problem, says Lamar, and off to a hot start.
Rasheen Ali is the back, moving over to the left slot on 3rd and 3. Pats bring 4. Jackson dancing in the pocket. Hemmed in there, so he fires. Flowers crossing. Got it. 21-yard line. First down at a gain of 18 to Zay.
There had to be at least 15, 20 steps in this dance by Lamar Jackson. Watch all these little baby steps moving around. Finally, he sees across the field his main target in Zay Flowers. That is a sensational.
No Rashad Bateman, the receiver's out for the Ravens. Pressure from the Steelers. Jackson throws complete, and downfield for the touchdown is Devontae Walker.
If in fact they did throw the ball, instead Lamar held it and ran right past Ramsey with this one. No slant, no quick throw. Go for the bomb, and there you go. The Ravens wide open from the start in this one.
Here in Pittsburgh, before the defense would come out on the field, and so often it has led to a big defensive play. Lamar Jackson's pass quiets the crowd on the completion to Zay Flowers to the 44-yard line. 3rd and 4. Steelers bring 4. Highsmith is there. Jackson got away. Now reloads and throws to Flowers downfield. He's got it for a touchdown! They had Jackson. 2 Steelers. He escaped and finds Flowers, and the Ravens take the lead.
This is unbelievable. You are going to see a meeting at the quarterback, and somehow Lamar splits them. Still shotgun.
3rd and 1. Fake to Henry. Jackson. Shot downfield. Zay Flowers again. Zay Flowers inside the 20. He's going to go. There is a flag on the far side of the field. Let's see what that is. The Ravens react as though it is on Pittsburgh.
I thought I was watching a replay of the first half. Got that down the field and over there, and there is nobody in the middle of the field. Look at that. I mean, you could stop that. That is as big an area as I have ever seen wide open on a football field.
The 4th lead change of the game, the 3rd in the 4th quarter.
Zay Flowers had to be as shocked as anybody out there.
Oh, look at Jalen Ramsey looking around like, where is everybody? Wow. Flowers, couple of touchdowns, 138 yards on the night, and has given the Ravens a 4-point lead. And now we go back to the point that the Steelers are out of timeouts. Lamar Jackson saw the flag, said, no, yes, it's on them. I've got 2 big touchdowns in this quarter, 3 on the game. Will the Steelers bring that pressure? It's 4th and 7. Season on the line. Jackson lofting it up, and it is caught, held on to by Isaiah Likely at the 22-yard line. He's been in the middle of so many big moments, and he comes up with a catch.
Absolute insanity. First of all, they block Andrews over here, but they have to commit coverage, so there's nobody left in behind. So if they can protect it long enough, that meant that Likely could get across the field, and Ramsey mistimed the jump. And my goodness gracious, Lamar Jackson, there have been questions this past week about his own toughness, Does he really want to be here? Could he have played last week? We've heard it all, right? And Lamar Jackson has delivered time after time, and Aaron Rodgers cannot believe